You know, it's like, you could kill me, but you're choosing not to. The two best football songs have been written and you can't top them. I took bets. So I took a lot of money home that week too. Football, it's like breathing to me. I'm Robbie Williams and this is my football life. I'm trying to think of when football became part of my life. It's never not been part of my life. It's always been there. It's been the one consistent thing, apart from my nearest and dearest, that has stayed with me as a passion for the whole of my life. Things come, things go, you know, other sports, computer games, fashion, food, you know, but football, it's like breathing to me. Well, I only got into music because I was not good enough at football. You know, the original dream was to be a footballer, but that was never going to happen because I didn't have the talent. They said you're going to need something to fall back on. So I took a job in a boy band. First football game I think was Stoke City. I can't remember who they were playing, but the crowd scared me. I was only young, very, very young. I was born in 74, so what would this be, 82, 81 maybe? And it was just too scary for me. So I existed on watching the football on the TV, which was Match of the Day and one game on a Sunday. That would be interspersed with the England team being on the TV all the time. And that was back in the day where you could beat Turkey 7-0. It's Turkey. We're going to score 7. But it was great being an England fan in the 80s because you didn't realise that the people that you were playing against were really the dog and duck. Well, the first game at Stoke, I was taken there by my mate's dad. I wasn't old enough to go to any games by myself. But I fell in love with Manchester United. Nobody was going to take me to Manchester because it might as well have been Mars. And then by the time I became old enough to leave the house, Port Vale was just around the corner and it was 50p to get into. And I could muster 50 pence. I used to get it from my nan. Then Port Vale became my home and my club. Then my first love, my first proper love. The greatest moment as a fan of the club was when Port Vale played Tottenham, about 89. Several reasons. We beat a Premier League team, old Division 1, but also I ran a book on it, a book at school. I took bets and everybody bet against Port Vale winning. But I wasn't very good at maths, so I just sort of like making these odds up. Like, you should have come and had a bet with me because I was just giving away money. But then Port Vale pulled off a big upset and I pocketed £4.5, which might as well have been 4,000 at the time. I played several testimonials, varying degrees of success and various degrees of how serious the opposition were taking it, because there would be, I played against an Aston Villa team that was still playing in the season and people were playing for places. That wasn't fun. That was not fun. But then you play against Leicester and it was like a post-season piss-up. That was a load of fun playing against Leicester. And I scored too, because quite often at these testimonial games, they'll give me a penalty to score. And I took them away, but I actually scored a proper goal against Leicester. And it felt good. I didn't invest. It wasn't an investment. It was giving my money away. You know, an investment would suggest that I'd be getting something back out of it. But I gave them money, from what I understood at the time, to stop going into administration. But then they kept going into administration. So the club is in safe hands now, thank God. Well, I used to hang out with the Liverpool lads, but me falling in love with Liverpool has been the last 10 years. A good mate of mine that I love to bits adores Liverpool. And by osmosis, I've picked that up too. It's like, yeah, I can recognise that you're a fantastic club with incredible history and wonderful fans. And that song just blows me away every time I hear it. In the 80s, I hated Liverpool because they won everything. That stayed with me for a long time because, you know, I suppose that I wanted the underdog to win and it felt unfair. Little did we know that almost 30 years later, maybe this year, Liverpool. I think we have a wonderful league and the soap opera that surrounds it is absolutely incredible. Pep, Klopp and Mourinho all managing these top teams at the same time with a wealth of talent that we have on display. I don't think we know how to value it enough because it's just there at our fingertips. And it's like one of those things that you won't know until it's gone, how good we have got it. Because, you know, even with Italy, when Italy was the place to go, that went on its arse. It gives you nuggets every day, and I love it. You sort of have to deal with the Premiership getting broken up with these boring international games, and they do my head in now, and I know that you have to do them, and I know that they're needed, but I get depressed when there's an international break. You know, it's like I feel bereft on a Saturday that my joy has been taken away. There's a lot of great things about living in Los Angeles, and one of them is that we don't have there that worry about the 3 o'clock kickoff and it not being on the TV. We can watch the 3 o'clock games. There is more football on in LA and America than actually is on in the UK. So keeping up with football has never been a problem. Yeah, it's everywhere. I got very fortunate, and it was like I'd won the pools. And I watched a TV program when I was a kid called The Kid That Won the Pools, and he did all these amazing things with his money. And I bought myself a house and knocked it down and built a football pitch where that house once stood. And it was completely encased in its own netting, and it had 6 floodlights and a speaker system, and it overlooked the San Fernando Valley, and it had its own clubhouse. And it was just, if you build it, they will come. It gave a sense of community in Los Angeles where there isn't a lot of sense of community because it's such a transient place. But this football pitch gave everybody a home. Through that football pitch, I just sort of scouted the best players that were coming up, and there'd be a game every night. And the best players became LA Vale, and then we entered the league and we won it. We've had Frank LeBeouf play up there, Barry Venison play up there, Ashley Cole was up there. There's been so many ex-footballers or footballers on holiday in Los Angeles that come up to the pitch. Too many to actually remember. Joey Pesci lived next door, Joe Pesci. And yeah, you don't want to park on Joey Pesci's drive. Someone made that mistake, but they didn't make that mistake again. It's great working with Tyson Fury. You know, he's a gifted boxer, obviously, and a huge personality. Singing's good. Yeah, his singing's good. He's a better singer than I am boxer. And I just love when somebody that big and that ferocious is nice to me. I just like that. You know, it's like, you could kill me, but you're choosing not to. And I like that. No. What's the point of doing a song? Not because Tyson Fury, that'd be great, but you know, the 2 best football songs have been written and you can't top them. World in Motion and Football's Coming Home. And that's it. It's been done. That quota is full. I'm currently obsessed with Football Manager right now. I've created my own team and we're called the Love City Rockers. I don't know if you know about that function on the game where you can take over a club, get rid of its name, sell the team, and then... So I've put myself in. Robbie Williams is a player for Love City Rockers, and his stats are off the charts, right? So I load the game, it goes in, the first thing that comes up is Love City Rockers player Robbie Williams comes out as the first gay footballer. That was the first thing that happened, and I was like, I'm proud of me.